Mic check.
Mic.
Mic check.
Mic. Shit.
Alright, so we about to start up. Thank you everybody for coming out. This is week 206. 1,442 days of fighting nonstop for accountability for my brother Tyrone West and all the victims of police brutality. And to this day, going on 4 years, 2 weeks from now to be exactly 4 years, still no accountability, still no justice, nothing has been transferred, people play games, it gets worse each year, I tell you. And you feel like you got victories coming up, you get shot down, beat down, tore down, so I guess it's a part of the struggle. But throughout it all, I'm never going to stop. Nobody's never going to shut my mouth. If I got to withdraw myself from things and places and people, hey, I'm willing to withdraw myself from places, people, and things. Sometimes you get in compromised positions that you have no control over. Because nobody's going to have control over my mouth and what I say and what I'm not going to say. You know, that's just it. Because nobody can stop me from fighting for accountability for my brother Tyrone West, who was brutally executed on July 18, 2013. So when we get to the 208th week, y'all know that that's when all hell's going to break out, because that's a horrible day for my family. That's a day that one unarmed man was slaughtered, brutally murdered, executed, beat to death. Like, that to me is like the worst case of police brutality. Because it takes a lot for animals with no restraint to constantly beat, kick, pepper spray, tase, mace, and do horrendous things to one unarmed person that's pleading and begging for his life. And the saddest part, the first two killers, Nicholas David Chapman and Officer Ruiz, they almost killed Abdul Salaam on July the 1st. In the same neighborhood 2 blocks over, and to this day, nobody's held accountable. In fact, Ruiz and Chapman have been getting awards, they've been getting pay raises and everything since the brutal execution of my brother. And let's not forget the round hers. 24 hours before my brother was executed. Here goes Ruiz, Chapman, and Omar, again, right at the scene. And I'm going to keep calling these killers names. And the next time y'all see me next week, I'm going to have a list of all the killers. Because if any and everybody, including David Lewis, who set his 315-pound body on top of one unarmed man until he was no longer breathing, moving, or screaming for help, I want to call all those animals out. I want to call all those stinking animals out by name, so y'all can be clear that I'm not playing with them. And I don't care what it takes, like, I don't know what it looks like for these animals to be held accountable, but I'm never going to stop. So that means that Marilyn Mosley decides that she's not going to do nothing, just like everybody else has decided they're not going to do nothing. Foolishness. I'll just put it on somebody else's plate. Eventually, somebody's going to do something. I'm real determined on that note. And I just want to let y'all know too, with all these homicides that's going on in my city right now, that too is the worst case of police brutality. They're neglecting everyone. Like, this is really sad. Just like I told people, one thing for certain and two things for sure, we cannot take our skin color off. We cannot take our skin color off. And at the end of the day, you may be in a position where everybody respects you or whatever, but you have loved ones too. And stuff can happen bad to them too. And if law enforcement officers not doing their job, holding people accountable, and us holding them accountable, then they have failed us. And that's exactly what it is. It's outrageous. Like, I just heard like 2 hours ago, another victim here in the city, a 63-year-old. Like, it's disgusting. So it has no age range or anything. It varies from young victims to elderly people. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, at what point is it going to stop? It's not going to stop until we make it stop. We have to demand that these people and hold these people accountable. We need to hold the mayor accountable, the state's attorney's office accountable. We need to hold people that have power, or so-called power, that can stop these things from happening. The commissioner, we need to hold all of them accountable. Like, we should not be taking this. I don't even feel safe for real being out here right now, because at any moment, we could be executed. And the saddest part, now you gotta worry about the cops and the robbers. Like, it's really sad. It's a real sad time in America. So that's why, even though I celebrated with my family, I was not celebrating the 4th of July. I was not celebrating that at all. I celebrated Juneteenth. That's what I celebrated. So I just want to let y'all know, be clear that the way we are dying in America It's sad. Like, I don't know what place in America that I'm safe to take my family and be like, oh, we can live without being discriminated against. We can be safe. We can have the pursuit of happiness. So everybody that was celebrating the 4th of July, really for the 4th of July, they have, they got that. They don't feel our pain. They're not in the struggle. They don't have to worry about if their kid's going to get pulled over by a cop and get murdered on the way to work, or if another individual going to kill their child. And they can't sleep until their children come home. That's sad. That's a sad time in America, and it's been a sad time. But it's getting ridiculous. At some point, it got to come to a head. We got to, and the only way I can see it, until we hold people accountable. Until we hold these jokers accountable. If they're not going to do their job, get them the hell out of there. Greg Bernstein didn't do his job. What happened? He got the hell out of there. If they're not going to do their job, we need to get them out of there and get people in office that will. And to me, I honestly don't even have faith in the system at all. At all. At all. Because to me, I kind of feel like even people that go into those positions, they may have a good heart, but they have to get it watered down because there's somebody over top of them that tells them what to do. And then that's where the water and the foolishness come in at. That's where it comes in at, because it's a corrupt system. The system never was broken. It never was designed for us. Flat out. It wasn't broken. And I'm going to keep saying it. It never was fixed. Something that's broke me at some point in time, it was operating. But at this point in time, it never was operating. They'd rather throw us in a jail cell, make us work like slaves in prison. But it's sad that it seems like my brothers and sisters are more safe in a jail cell. That's disgusting. That is horrible. It's a horrible time. And the crazy time when I think about Keith Davis Jr., who is suffering in jail for a crime that he did not commit, that is horrible and disgusting to me. But yet killer cops are walking free. Killer cops get the pursuit of happiness. Killer cops get to sit down with their family. Keith is behind bars because what happened? They almost killed the wrong man, but he survived. Had Keith not survived, they would have threw all type of charges and said everything. But Keith is that voice. That's why it's very important and crucial that we make sure Keith be free. Like he done had 2 jury trials. Like, come on now, 2 jury trials. And that's why I say I don't have no faith in the system whatsoever. Because that last jury trial that I was actually able to see, it was horrible. Like, I just see that, I'm like, yes, they're going to come back and Keith is going to finally be home with his wife, Kelly, and his kids, and it didn't happen that way. Because we had one white Caucasian female that said, hey, this is the way it is in America. He's guilty. His fingerprints were on that gun. I don't want to hear anything. That is said, not even hearing the fact. What about the witnesses? People are neglecting about what the witnesses said. Witnesses mean nothing. Video footage mean nothing. It's whatever their narrative say, they're going to run with it and they're going to keep it. It don't matter what somebody say. You see what happened to Castile on video footage. What happened? Killer cops still work free. What happened? They paid that damn family off. Money can't bring that man back. Let's be clear, money cannot bring that man back. And I'm going to keep saying it. Take your damn money and stick it up your hind parts and rotate on it. But you're supposed to compensate. Don't get me wrong. You're supposed to compensate people. But it's a right way and a wrong way. And I don't believe in no damn hush money. Ain't no way in the world you can offer me a check big enough and tell me you can't talk about Tyrone West. That'll be the day I die. That'll be the day I die. Let's be real clear on it. So when it comes down to the life, certain things just happen, but we have to make sure that we hold ourselves accountable by holding these folks accountable. Stop taking people's trash. Stop letting it be, oh, well, this is the way the system works. We should do that. We should roll with what they're saying. This sounds good, or this, we can't change that. As long as you think like that, you are a dead man or a dead woman. You might as well stop living, like for real. You got to believe in something, and you got to fight even harder than what you believe in. Because things change, and it's sad. One minute I be feeling so up, and I be like, yes, it's finally about to come to a head. We about to win this thing. And then it backfires, and you're like, what in the hell happened? Like, how did I get underneath of the bus, and they ride me over and over and over and over and over? But that's the way the world works. That is designed for us to never fight or to walk away. But if I'll be the one to send that strong message to the world, that don't take nobody's shit, excuse my language. You don't have to take nobody's stuff at all. Don't let them tell you stuff, you tell them stuff. Especially when, don't make deals with the devil. That's as clear as I can put it. Because once you start making deals with the devil, then you're telling them your family member was nothing. You're telling them that you're excusing these stinking animals from brutally murdering your loved one. Some things cannot be settled. That's just flat out. That's just flat completely out. Some things can never be settled. If you can't bring my damn brother back and put him back in front of me and give him life in his body and he can be with his kids, raising his kids, and doing the productive things that he was doing in life, nothing you can settle with me, nothing you can say to me, nothing. And this is a horrible time for my family right now. Because just in 2 weeks, and the last holiday we celebrated when my brother was alive was the day of 4th. When I was asleep, I didn't know about how corrupt this damn world was. I had to learn the hard way. I actually had on red, white, and blue. My brother's like, sis, I'm not wearing no red, white, and blue. I'll keep my orange and black on. I'll represent the Oreo brother. And I'm not, you even put me in no red, white, and blue. I ain't saying I agree with America, but I was an American lover. You couldn't tell me that America wasn't good and that the system didn't work for us and, you know, good people do good things and, you know, it's hard for bad things to happen. I had to learn that the hard way. And I'm like, damn, is this the price I pay for being an idiot? For believing in something that don't even believe in me or my family? Something that treated my family like crap and families. It don't just stop with my family. It continues. Anthony Anderson family. No damn justice, no peace. Corinne Gaines family, no justice, no damn peace. Sandra Bland family, no justice, no damn peace. Freddie Gray family, no justice, no damn peace. It don't stop, and it's going to continually happen if we allow it. Don't allow it. Keep talking, saying things that they don't want to keep being there. It might be hard, but keep being there. Don't never give up. Once you do that, it's over with. And that's what's wrong. A lot of people give up because it gets overwhelming and they just want to close it. They talk about closure. Guess what? It'll never be closure for me. Never. Never, ever, ever. Will it be ever, ever, ever?
Ever?
Ever.
Ever.
Ever, ever. Will it ever be closure for me and my damn family? No such thing. If these killer cops get in cell blocks, will that be closure? No such thing. But that will, and once they get in cell blocks, there will be a time where I can have a peace of mind and say, damn, we sent a strong ass message. That'll feel damn good. So that's why I'm pushing for that. But it still won't be closure. It'll be a time where I can finally, after 4, 5, 6, or whenever they think they're going to give it to me, if they ever did, it'll be a time where I can start trying to mourn. Because I haven't had a chance to mourn yet. I have to mourn at first. And it's crazy. It's sad when you got to leave work at camp all day with kids and you got to stand out on the corner to talk about your loved one and talk about how corrupt this damn system is. And it's a sad day in America, like I said, and it's been a sad day, but it's getting even sadder because you think about with this president that's in office, all this hate, all hell went, everything that's basically that's happening bad now, I think it's been ordained to happen because you let somebody hateful get in office, and now people are acting on hate crimes. People are acting on stuff they've been wanting to do, but now they feel comfortable. They're like, oh, bad enough the American system didn't work at first, but now we got people that hate, so it really ain't gonna work for them, so we can do what we want to do. I can shoot an 18-year-old in the head and say it's road rage, but let's be clear, let a white girl would have cut him off. And this black young teenager was getting ready for college. She was ready to go to college, and this maniac blew her head away. And they call it road rage. It's a little more than that. There's a lot of hate going on. Bunch of hate going on, and it's sad to the point that it's making the community, it's making us kind of hate each other and hate ourselves, and that's sad. Love yourself. Love your brother. Love your sister. Because we got them taking us out. They don't give a damn. We got all these unsolved homicides. It's for a reason. They don't care. They don't care. That's your family blood that's on the ground, and your family messed up forever, and they gonna walk away. They with their family. Let some hell break out in Roland Park. Let's be clear. Let 2 people get killed in Roland Park. See what happens. They're gonna shut Roland Park down on the spot. They're gonna go meet with the mayor, they might go to the mayor's house. They might go inside and have a meeting with the commissioner and the mayor. And that's exactly what we need to do. We need to hold them accountable. And I mean, I'm with the ceasefire because I want every community to be together, but we need to go past days. Because to me, these seem like the final days where they're just wiping us out. So I'm going to give everybody a chance to speak. Let's remember to respect each other. And I want to let y'all know tomorrow is a very important meeting at Chapman State University. It's about the Doug and Tony show, I call it. Because I really call it that. Like, I'm not feeling it or none of that. Tomorrow the meeting starts at 6 o'clock or 6:30?
6:30.
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock? Yeah,
be there at 5:30. Be there at 5:30.
Yeah,
5:30.
6 to 8. Can you give me that address?
I don't know what it is, but I can send anybody who wants it. I can get it to you. I can just
okay. But I know it's at Chapman State. I don't know what part of Chapman State. Once you go to Chapman State, it's not gonna be on. Be there at 6 o'clock, and it's about the DOJ, and it's about like who they're gonna have basically the monitors. It's about the monitors. So be there, because this is fun. And the crazy part, you're gonna be impressed about who gets to choose the monitors. The mayor, the commissioner. Like, are you fucking kidding me? So you choosing the commissioner when this house a killer to come kill us some more. What kind? That's what I say, the Doug and Pony show. So I really want to be up close for the Doug and Pony show to see what happens. So be there, be square, come with your ideas, and if you want to talk on the mic, let's not attack each other. Let's attack the problem. Because if we're attacking each other right now, we really in a sad damn time. They taking us out. We taking this too damn much. Like, chill out. Like, chill out. Go read a book. Do something. Do something constructive. When you can't read, anybody can Google. Put it on Google. I teach you how to use chalk in Google. But anyway, mic check.
Mic check.
Oh, and another announcement. Next week, unfortunately, I'm going to start West Wednesday at 7 right here. Because I don't want to ask y'all to show up at 6:30. I'm not going to get it at 7 o'clock. Matter of fact, see, at 7 o'clock I'll be here. Because I have a meeting, a mandatory meeting at my job. Which they know I have West Wednesday, and I know I'm on live, but it sucks when you work for people that don't care. Like, they were going too far. Let me chill. Mic check.
Mic check. Mic check.
Mic check. All right, I'm going first today. We got dinner in the movie. It's been our third week. We doing dinner in the movie. It's a proactive protest. All right, we're not gonna wait for another Tyrone West, another Freddie Gray. We doing my thing. My lane is the prison industry and homelessness. So that's basically what we'll be following, those type of things, police brutality. That's what I do, all right? So on Friday from 6 o'clock until they put us out or lock me up, we're gonna be at City Hall. We're doing dinner in the movie at City Hall this Friday.
What time?
From 6 o'clock, we're gonna be eating at 6:30, then we're gonna show the movie when it get dark. And I want everybody that's an activist to get a 15-minute clip of what you do. Because I'm going to showcase you. You know what I'm saying? This just ain't about me. This ain't just about, this about us.
Right.
So each activist, if you got a homelessness, if you got LBG, whatever you got going on, you give me 15 minutes and me and Brian, where Brian at?
Right there.
Come here, motherfucker. This dinner in a movie with Brian and Shorty, all right? All right? All right. So you're going to give us, we need 15 minutes, but we need it on YouTube or whatever, because he got to put it on his computer and download it just in case we ain't got internet access. All right? Or an SD card. So we can play it on an SD card.
Or DVD.
Or a DVD, you understand? On Friday, I'm going to play mine about the prison industry, about mass incarceration and how I did what I did with the parole and probation, and I'm going to name the politicians and the judges on film. And if they want to lock me up, they can lock me up. That's when jail support kick in. You feel me? I got my bail money, but I'm going to sit in jail till they give me what I got coming. You know what I'm saying? So
Don't let them kill you, though.
I'm in jail. That's my second home, man. Shit. Tell them, ain't that right? Hey, tell them, prison ain't nothing but an extension of the ghetto. Minus that, you know what I'm saying? That's it. So I'm good at that. So we're doing this at City Hall. We're not only going to do it at City Hall, but we're doing it across Baltimore. If you got a place, right?
Yeah.
If you got a place that you figure we can do it, we'll do it. We'll do it on the side of buildings.
You got that much wall right there.
We need wall, white wall. White. We're using white. We need white walls. White walls. And white people show up. Alright? We're going to use your whiteness because, see, they ain't going to lock y'all up. We proved that at Central Booking. So we're going to do proactive activism. This is about making a change and making a statement. We don't want to sit here and wait till we have an uprising or a death or a murder. We want to put our issues on the table up front right now. All right? And if y'all got that, I'm going to give y'all that time and that space, just like Tawanda give you Wednesdays, I'm going to give you Fridays. All right? Because we're going to do this 7 days a week. You feel me? We don't give no way out. We ain't giving no air. You feel me? And we're going to challenge these laws. And the way we're going to challenge them, everybody need to get a constitution. You understand? I need that truck! Alright, everybody need to get a constitution. Because I need y'all to show public accommodations, you know what I'm saying? I need you the freedom of speech. Y'all need to start using the Constitution for all of us. Like Tawanda said, I don't care where you get them from. Get as many as you can, pass them out. And so people can, that's what you need. We got to beat them at their own game. If they're going to use the law against us, we got to start using the law for us. You feel me? And we got to meet them in the courthouse. Out here in the streets and marching is cool, protesting is cool, but at the end of the day, if that change is going to be made, it got to meet babe when they slap that gavel down. You feel me? We got to do what Martin Thurgood taught us, what Medgar taught us. You feel me? So, mic check!
Mic check! Mic check!
Mic check!
Hi everyone. So I just wanted to comment really quickly on something that Tawanda was saying earlier about if she ever stopped fighting, that she would herself die spiritual death, because you can't, when it comes to issues like this, if you are not aggressive all the time in every aspect of your life, you will slowly but surely, you know, sell out. And this is not only a race war, but this is definitely a class war. You know, I had a woman, like, if someone tells me that they're tired of being black, that's one time too many for me to hear that. You know, and sometimes I feel that myself. Like, you know, I wish, oh, how would I feel if I was born a white woman? Oh, my bills would be relieved. How would I feel if I was born with money, you know? And these are this model minority. My parents came here from Sierra Leone as refugees, and they constantly touted me, you know, be like the white man, be that model minority. Get your education. Forget what poor people are doing. Forget the injustices that are inflicted on the poor. You can't forget about those things. It is this. Not only is this a race war, but this is also a class war. So for all those African Americans who think they've attained model minority and American dream, that's a fucking lie. You cannot abandon, you know, the Ben Carsons, you know, the Catherine Hughes, the fact that you have an education and a degree, you have some money now, doesn't mean that you're in. You cannot continue the struggle. So that's what I wanted to say. Like, for all of you, talk to everyone else, you know, never give up. We have to continue the struggle. Just because you've attained a certain level of class doesn't mean you should abandon common humanity, everyone else, all of those intersections.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
I don't hear nobody. Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check. Couple things. One, I think that people they don't abandon other people in the sense they abandon their own humanity when they get to a certain place where they think they're better than others, and they become the problem. So I just wanted to say that on top of what you were saying, Gigi. First, I want to announce something. This weekend we got a Circles of Voices coming up. It's going to be us having a conversation about race and the impact of racism in the culture. And that night, we're also going to have Oscar Grant's. You know, everybody know Oscar Grant, Fruitvale Station? Oscar Grant's uncle is going to be in attendance in the session that day. So it's going to be a really cool session. It's from 6 to 9 o'clock at the Impact Hub. So he'll be there, Tawanda will be there, regular crowd will be there. It's going to be, got a lot of people signing up to be at this session on the weekend, and I haven't even sent out the last mailing yet. We're going to have I think we'll have a pretty good turnout, and it's going to be a good conversation about race that we're going to have. So I want everybody to know that. The monitor team stuff. So tomorrow night, there is something in Coppin State. It's going to be from 6 to 8:30 at Coppin State University, and it's going to be in the Human Services Building, room 103, 1826 Whitmore Avenue, Baltimore. So here's the deal. We had 26 teams apply to be monitors for the DOJ. 26 teams. I'm a part of one of the teams that applied. So we have a team of about 10 or 12 people. I'm a part of one of the teams. We have a team, Neil Franklin, who came out and did the Circles of Voices with us one time. He's on another team. He's a former Baltimore police officer, ran the training academy for years, and then he was a state officer also. This dude says some really good shit about how to reform police. He's really, really cool. And then Ava Pipitone, who works over at Red Embers, is on another team. And that's as much as I know. I know those three people, and I appreciate, I appreciate myself and the other two. And so that's all I know about the teams. And tomorrow night, the time is set up for citizens to come out to ask questions. That's what it's all set up for. So if as many of you can come to that, it'd be cool to have you out there. Wanted to say one other thing too. Last year, folks, I hadn't heard about this until like recently. Last year, there's a police officer, Wesley Cagle. Anybody ever heard that name, Wesley Cagle? Wesley Cagle was convicted here in Baltimore last year of shooting an unarmed person in the groin. So here's basically what happened. This guy had been stopped by the police, and he had already been shot by the police. He was sitting in the doorway of a store or something, and they already had him, handcuffed and everything. He's just sitting there. This other cop shows up, Johnny come lately, stupid motherfucker, and takes out of his gun, calls him a name, and shoots the dude in the groin. And he wasn't running, he wasn't doing anything, shoots the dude in the groin. The thing for us that's interesting, I was talking with Boom about this on the way over. It might be a small victory, y'all. It might be a small one, but there was a cop convicted, got 12 years for that shit. In 2016, got 12 years for shooting this dude in the groin. I think we need to pay attention to shit like that. I think we need to go, you know what? We may not be getting every victory that we want, but my goodness, a crumb is better than nothing. A crumb is better than nothing. There's something that's moving in this city right now, and I just want to call that out. Sometimes with us the more pain you have around us, the more traumatized we are around this. Sometimes it's just, we just fight just for the hell. Somebody turns a light on, you just start fighting and shit just because it's, that's what activists do. And even, I think some of us, even if we fucking won, we would still want to keep on fighting. If we won everything, we would want to find some way to fight something. And I want to just call out that if we're winning something, we should just call that thing. We should say we've won something. Even if it's not anywhere close to what we wanted, that we pushed it. We haven't had a cop convicted in this town for something like that for, like, how long? And I didn't even know it. Like, it's just like totally, it was in the Baltimore Sun. And so I totally missed it. So I think we should, like, pay attention to that stuff, and not meaning that we don't have to keep on fighting. We got to fight our asses off because it is a small victory. He should have gotten more than 12 years for what he did, shooting an unarmed man in the groin. Like, the guy is not going to ever be the same because of what he did. 12 years is not enough. Somebody should shoot him in his damn groin. But the bottom line is we got something. So for us, I just want to, like everything that we're pushing, like Chris, with Pete Davis and all the other stuff that comes up, something is happening in Baltimore right now because we've been out here pushing in the way that we have. And even though we don't get the convictions that we want, even though we don't move the bar as far as we want to move it, we better start acting like we're moving something, because this thing feels like a defeat. All of it feels like a defeat. And we don't pay attention to something is sliding in the right direction. Something's moving in the right direction. So again, tomorrow night we got the monitor teams. I'm gonna tell y'all too, this thing with the monitors, I talked about this once before at West Wednesday. These teams, they have a budget of up to $1.45 million. And every one of these 26 teams, you can bet, they proposed or budgeted all the way up to that number, including my team. What we did with ours is we made the numbers very clear so people can see them. And a lot of these other teams, they will put that $1.45 million out there, but they won't tell you that the lead attorney is getting paid $450 an hour. $450 an hour. For some of these teams, they're talking about people getting paid $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. One person. I'm not talking about the entire team. One lawyer getting paid that kind of money over the course of a year. And these things could go on. I think they're expecting it to go for 3 years, but it could be extended. So these people will be making that kind of money over very extended periods of time, getting paid dramatic amounts of money for the hours that they put in for doing this stuff. They love getting stuff like this because what they do is they get very rich doing it. Every one of these teams get very rich on some level. Maybe not every person on every team, but $1.45 million a year for 5, 6, 7 years. That's a pretty decent amount of money, especially when these teams are very small, very small. So come out, tomorrow, ask all the questions. You being there, like right now, Tawanda talked about it. The people who get to pick these teams, the mayor, who is in partnership with the commissioner of police, who also gets to decide which team gets chosen. And I've forgotten the last person. There's one other entity that gets to choose. But we got the commissioner of police, we got the police deciding who will be monitoring this team. This thing coming into place. The commissioner of police, when they were the ones who were under the spotlight. It's like me being monitored for robbing that joint right there. I'm monitoring myself. I'm going to go in and get myself a fish sandwich. I might get me a strawberry soda too and some fries and shit. And then after I come out, I get locked up. And then they come to me to monitor myself. I'm getting me some more chicken sandwiches and shit, with that. So I'm just saying, so for us, if we're not there as citizens, if the citizens aren't there, they're just going to do whatever they want to do. Whatever they want to do if you don't show up. Show up.
Mic check.
Mic check.
And before I give it to my brother, because he's about to burn it down, I'm not even going to be able to hold him like at the boom get on me. Like it's still hot from JC, I'm ready to drop it now. But anyway, on a serious note, like even with the Civilian Review Board, they had Chief Rodney Hill. He's on the board. He's the chief of police. Like really?
He's the chief of internal affairs.
Chief of internal affairs. Chief of police. They all police officers. That's how I see it. Chief of police.
If they don't do internal affairs divisions, they're not going to do that investigation.
But it's foolishness. Because I trusted Chief Rodney Hill when we wanted them to investigate my brother's case years ago. Back in 2013, and he promised my family, oh yeah, we're going to be transferring. Not only we're going to get the Civilian Review Board to look at it, we're going to get an independent report, an independent review board to come out. We're going to make sure we get justice for your family. What kind of goddamn justice was that? If that's justice, I don't know. Mic check.
Mic check.
We all we got.
We all we need.
We all we got.
We all we need.
First, I'd like to say again, we passed it in a legislative war, and a lot of the names that we have are got confused. And when you deal with the administrative part, it's called administration. They're going to leave in 4 years, and then, of course, we're going to be dealing with the same problems. We're chasing, of course, a lot of times if they put in tomorrow certain legislation that we want, like we have the felon voting rights, so that, of course, felons can vote in Maryland. But what is that? If they still play with the voting and do all the slick things, because we, the people, do not have people from out of our communities all the way into the process of the voting booth, all the way to the seat. We still trust that the process will be in their hands. Policing. I'm sorry to say, but only the people that support 300 gangsters and the people that's in 300 gangsters is the people that believe in community policing. Because we believe that, again, with the consent decree that's out here, a consent decree is like a F report card, but we still letting our kid, which our tax money, we still allow them to go outside, we still allow them to play. So the way that we turn our backs on them is that we invest in community policing. If you don't have funds to invest in it from a penny all the way up, then you join it with your body and you turn your whole back on the police department. You do not put no trust in them. You do not call them for 911. You link up and you allow the community policing seed that's being planted among you, and you get it to grow. That sooner or later it will be all the way from over Northeast Baltimore spread all the way over to Harbor East with the people from that community that believes in community policing. So before you would call the police,
police, you call the community liaison, and then they call the Miss Betty, who's the community lady to go to bingo every day, and she would call the police, and then here we go. That's where the church would come in, who is a piece of shit right now, because it's only a piece of shit, because we have 4,000 churches with 4%. If you want to get into data, because white people are into data. Black people are into data. They always say, what does the data say? Well, guess what? Data in Maryland, they only do data every 5 years. So that means the administration is gone already. So whatever they enforce, like when Lynch with the consent decree, she don't work there anymore, so the paper has no weight, because you need the people, like I said, we had the people to enforce the ink. The ACLU lady, they're not here anymore. It was all a fucking game.
Money, 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 money.
It takes killers who are reformed to go get the killers that's on your street. That's what 300 gangsters is into as well. They have safe streets out here doing that. They gave them 1.8 million for the same thing that I'm speaking of. So we know there's money that they are giving to someone. Safe streets cannot do it alone. $1.8 million, that is not going to combat $400 million that they're giving the adversary, because the police department, a good police in their world is only as good as their fake informant. I'm going to repeat that. The police is only as good as their fake informant, so the police is going to get that informant to do some things in those communities so that community policing don't go down. They're going to do things in that community so you don't see Bloods and Crips coming together. They're going to send a fake Blood in there, and he's going to shoot up the Crip neighborhood, and there go the troops. They listening to everything, but bitch, I'm on you. You see what I'm saying? Any white people, you can look at, again, I always tell y'all about John Brown. You can read about the Nathan Bacons and all these white abolitionists who done the things that they tried to do, and you got to see the things that happened to them. The black people that you see, the Malcolm X's that you see who got killed, or you see all our leaders who got killed, well then if you know that we're getting killed, then you know they do not want us to correct our own community policing. Tupac Shakur's father got incarcerated because he specialized in acupuncture. Acupuncture actually takes the addiction of drugs totally out of your body, so you no longer need a program like the methadone program. They locked him up, and to this very day he's been locked up 30 plus years because he did not fit into.
Get out.
Huh?
You just getting out.
No.
You ain't getting out.
No. He didn't fit into their plan to do it. They're called political prisoners. That's what they're trying to do to Boom. Right now, all our adversaries just 3 years ago be on my phone and my inboxes. Can you come to my show? Can you come to my church? Can you come to my platform? Where the hell was you when me and Shorty and Tyrone was in the streets 4 years ago? Where was you at 2012? Well, I'm looking on 2012 on my YouTube, and I got 50,000 hits when it was only 700 a minute ago. But where's those 15,000 people to come help my city in this blood, or join community policing? Or if you like what I do, you know I don't like the police right now because they don't have a report card for reconciliation. The consent decrees, they're a mess. Police is getting convicted. 7 police just got charged. Why me would want to do anything with something like that? You know what you're asking? If a woman got raped, you're asking that woman to go back to her rapist every day. That's what you're asking me to do. When you ask me to love America, they have raped me for 400 years, but you continue to ask me to want me to continue to the American culture or believe in it. No. So that's what you ask him when you say, well, bro, why don't you talk to Commissioner Davis? He is a fucking adversary. He was under Bats, and Bats said that Baltimore is red like the 1950s. So you was a student, and that was your teacher. So Bats has been in this wheel longer than he actually has been in the seat. Y'all gotta understand. So he's been in there when all this was going on with Bats, and allowed it, and he still can't even do nothing now.
Won't do nothing.
And that lets you know he won't do that. He knew this before he got in the seat. That's why it's called a testing. You study, you study. Well, he got into take the test. He's failed. Why aren't we getting his ass out of there? I don't hear nobody calling on our young show. I don't hear my white family. I don't hear my Asian family. I don't hear my LGBT family. I don't hear the Black Lives Matter family. I don't hear the All Lives Matter family. I don't hear none of those people when a Ferguson or Freddie Gray hit. They're called activists. Fuck Black Lives Matter. I don't fuck with them. My life been mattering since the day I was born. That is George Soros' movement. Fuck Black Lives Matter. I don't fuck with them. They're not in Baltimore. Black lives do not matter in Baltimore with George Soros. Black lives matter to this beautiful chocolate city of the blacks who live here before that Black Lives Matter faggy ass campaign ever came in. And I'm not using it in a reference to a sexuality thing. I'm talking about a man who will monopolize off a culture marching off of my people pain like he did those protesters up in D.C. who got sodomized playing around with his games. Yeah, George Soros was responsible for the people out there in D.C. busting those windows. Did he come and get them when they got locked up? You scream Black Lives Matter, but where you at when we fighting the police? I don't see nobody out there but 300 gangsters out there and my men get locked up and ain't nobody out there to bail them out. You down there going to, you're not there. And I'm not saying the people out here, but the ones who drive by, as soon as somebody get killed, they pull over and say, my son got killed last month. I see y'all coming past here all the time when I roll by here, and then they pull over and give us their story. Well, I'm tired of your story. Let's get here before the story happens. Let's get out here before your little son get locked up. Boom, Facebook say, do you know where your children are? No, you don't. You lie because the goddamn record show we at 174, and those people are under 30 years old. The average man in Baltimore is not on a lease, and the average man in Baltimore do not have a job, so that makes that man homeless. So a lot of these brothers that are out here are actually homeless slaves. When you come out of prison with a drug charge, you cannot go to an apartment. You gotta go to the street. You can't find housing, so how are you calling these young kids on these corners thugs and pieces of shit? Go on one of these corners and go take one of them in the home, clean them up, and you might can get the package out of his pocket because he's getting something to eat. Put your ass on this corner on Penn and wonder why he actually do have a pill problem, because when he got shot, they kept on giving him Percocets, so he can't get Percocets no more, so now he has a fucking physical pharmacy addiction. Right? Don't run your fucking mouth when you don't know what's going on with my babies out here. Hurt people, hurt people. So when you've been raped and your father treated you like shit, you need a little bit of dope to clean that pain up. So mind your fucking business when you're worrying about somebody out here selling drugs and you left them out here to die. She's covering up her pain. Her son died. She 30, he was 14, he got his brains blew out. She went to work every day. She never been in this world in her life. Now she's in a club that she hate called Mothers of Lost Sons, and she gotta find some way to ease her pain. Like Tawanda said, everybody show up at the funeral, but she's gonna be there. But everybody leave. That's when that lady gonna get high. That's why he popping that perk, because he never had a mother, but your mother ass. You got a mother, you ungrateful, unappreciative ass. Somebody who ain't got no mother, and if you got one, you don't know how it feel. Fuck Mother's Day. Because my man don't have no mother. So I got to deal with that on Mother's Day. My little nephew, my sister got her brains blew out. So by his father, so Mother's and Father's Day. So what about him? He don't do pills, but if he did, I would understand. So yeah, we got a drug problem. For every person that get killed, it's a cousin left behind. It's a nephew left behind. It's somebody left behind. So if it's 300 bodies, then that means it's 3,000 families, somebody getting high. Fuck wrong with that. People gotta get high out here to clear the pain. Hurt people. Unfortunately, dope, liquor, drinks, cure our pain until we can get past the problem. But until then, and you can cure by empowering me, give me a job, get me off the corner, get my young men off of Penn North, get my men off of Bel Air and Herman. We cannot sit up here and keep the narrative going with the people saying, our youth. God, their eyes all of you. It ain't no motherfucking youth, it's you. It's me. Now. That's why I beat up politicians so I can make them give me some houses. That's why I beat up news people, because I don't let them control the narrative on the news of my young. That's why I beat up the school board, because Baltimore is 3 decades deprived of education, but you want my kids to walk around here like humans. The goddamn dogs got an 8th grade education, and it ain't even their fault with a high school diploma. Yeah, so yeah, that's why they get high. That's why I blew his goddamn brains out. He's 17, he mad, he just got out of so his foster care person touching him, he out here, he over his buddy house, a lick happened, he killing that nigga. Nigga, not black man, he killing that cracker. It's real in the field, we at war. Your ass ain't in the game, look for it to come to your door. It came to a politician door, and it came to a lawyer door just the other day. Warren Brown's son got his brains blew out, and the little head dude of the police got his son brains blew out. TJ got his brains blew out. So which one of y'all gonna get? Y'all nephew gonna be called, and their brains gonna get blew out. But guess what? Where I'm from, we numb the brains getting blew out. We ain't gonna cry like y'all going now. Y'all gonna need me to help y'all how the hell to get out of there. The pain, so your ass don't do no perks, because Bo don't do no perks where we from. We take the hit and keep on taking. Remember, we do teddy bears and shit. You know, we do bottles on the ground of smoke. Yeah, for the fucking pain. So come into my communities until you can give us jobs, economical empowerment, get the pay, and then I was locked up 3.5 years in solitary, so my brothers were coming from prison with homicidal tendencies, but the drugs that they're giving them is putting them in a dope situation so they don't take it, so now they walking around with the homicidal tendencies because they threw me and Shorty in the goddamn jungle, and we killing shit in the prison, and you sending me out here to be human. Yeah. Kiss my ass, please. Start over. Link up with an RS offender that was like myself, been home 20 years. Don't try to tell him, well, go get a job, it's going to be okay. You can give him $30 an hour when it's not going to be okay. He fucked up in the head. He needs a life coach. Myself, an alcoholic, he's a life coach. A rapist, he needs his goddamn brains blew out. Let's not play with it. They're trying to make pedophilia a goddamn sickness now. If that shit go down, it's all our fault. We need to burn some shit down before they let pedophilia be some goddamn disease. I'm going to show you how to carry that shit. Give me a 38 in the corner. Boom, said it. I mean that. That's what you go to jail for. That's what these ancestors went to jail for. Because last time I checked, Malcolm X got his brains blew out in front of his goddamn kids and his motherfucking wife. For the same people that's out here, then he took the hides so white people can have safety. Because when Nelson Mandela, he saved y'all too. Because all this shit was over. And when he was in, if he did what Winnie Mandela wanted him to do, a lot of dead white people would have been out of Africa. Nelson Mandela sold us out. Boom, said it. Salute.
Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Boom said it.
Boom said it.
Said it well.
Said it well.
Hi, everybody. I just want to clarify a little bit about July 4th yesterday. You know, down at the Reginald Lewis Museum, I'm not sure if this exhibit's still there, but it was on the top floor. It's interesting. They say when the colonies were thinking about fighting a war against England for independence, that's where July 4th comes from, right? When they were thinking about it, the big question they had in their minds was, do we have enough money to wage this war? And the richest guy in all the colonies happened to be a guy from Maryland. His name was Charles Carroll, one of the signers of the so-called Declaration of Independence. So, based on Charles Carroll's tremendous wealth, they made the decision they could wage that war for independence. But guess where all of Charles Carroll's wealth came from? It all came from slavery. So we have the hypocrisy from the birth of the United States talking about fighting for freedom by enslavement and using the resources derived from the exploitation of slaves to defeat England and achieve so-called independence. So we have to be very clear about this holiday and about patriotism in general. The problem with patriotism is it teaches us to be loyal to a country. But this country includes Donald Trump. It includes a lot of big business owners, and all they care about is making profit, and they don't care who they kill in a war to preserve their empire. So I say we should be very loyal but not to a country. We should be loyal to the workers and poor people of the world, no matter what color they are, no matter what religion they are, no matter what kind of food they eat. That's where our loyalties belong, not to a country. The second thing I want to talk about for a moment is Laquan McDonald in Chicago. You may know that he was killed by the police, and it was such an insupportable killing that the mayor sat on top of that video footage for a long time, refused to release it. And you know why he sat on it? He sat on it because of Ferguson, and he sat on it because of Baltimore, and he was afraid that Chicago would erupt in a rebellion if they released that footage, and it took a court order. And in the 24 hours between the court order and the release of the footage, guess what he did? He made sure some charges were trumped up against the cops, because he knew if he didn't do that, they were going to have Ferguson or Baltimore and Chicago. So I want to read you from Challenge. This is about a month and a half ago's news, but it's very important. Chicago, Illinois, May 23rd. Another pretrial hearing was scheduled today at the Cook County Courthouse for killer Chicago KKK cop Jason Van Dyke, who was responsible for the murder of 17-year-old Laquan McDonald on October 20th, 2014. Caught on dashboard camera, the 16 shots that Van Dyke pumped into Laquan's body as he lay lifeless in the street was another stark reminder of the role the KKK cops play in the defense of the racist capitalist system. The resultant cover-up by Mayor Rahm Emanuel and State Attorney Anita Alvarez further demonstrated the racism of the state, sparking mass outrage and militant fight back throughout the city and beyond. As Van Dyke's lawyer baldly stated in court, the murder of Laquan was simply, quote, business as usual. The court showed its role in protecting the racism of the state when an observer in the courtroom was brought up on charges of contempt of court for his response to the racist proceedings. Despite already being indicted on first-degree murder charges, Van Dyke and his attorneys continue to postpone his trial by filing ridiculous motions attempting to have the murder indictment dismissed. During this hearing, the crowd was forced to listen to Van Dyke's scumbag lawyer prattle on at length over all the reasons he was, quote, justified in his racist murder of a black teenager. The judge denied motions to have the murder charges cleared. This outcome provoked excitement among many of the anti-racists in the room, including one anti-racist teacher who snapped his fingers repeatedly in approval of the judge's decision. "What is your purpose here, sir?" the Cook County presiding judge barked at the teacher. Quote, "To see a racist murderer go on trial," the anti-racist defiantly responded, turning to face Van Dyke and his lawyers. With this bold statement and a multiracial crowd packing the courtroom, these anti-racists and POP help send the message that racist KKK cops and the capitalist state that protects them will never be tolerated as business as usual. So I just want to mention, I'll personally miss West Wednesday next week because Friday morning a group of us are going out to Chicago to help with that struggle and a number of other struggles out there. And our spirit will be with you next Wednesday. And as we prepare for the 4th anniversary of the horrendous killing of Tyrone West, and we hope to do some good while we're out there, just like the good we all do here.
Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Anybody else?
And I want to make an announcement too. Saturday I'm going to be at Loyola College with a bunch of other families that never asked to be in this fight against police brutality. And it's a workshop. It's going to start at 11 o'clock. It only lasts for an hour. So I just wanted to bring y'all up to that. And also letting y'all know, like I told y'all in the beginning, that the 4-year anniversary of my brother's brutal execution will be July the 18th. That's on a Tuesday. We're going to meet at the Kent Count, right where it happened. And I get choked up every time I say that neighborhood. But Kentmore, Causeway Avenue at 7 o'clock. Please meet my family there. For the most of us that can come, because it's a place in my mind I would never take her, and I know she'll never go to. And some other of my family members is not strong enough to go back. But I think it's very important that we go back to the place, because that's the last place that he took his breath. So we'll see you guys there at 7 o'clock and then again on West Wednesday.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Thank you, Coach.
Oh man, oh underground.
You scared?
Right, you know what's up.
Um,
I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that.
I just want to say a few things real quick, some of which I've said before. First, I want to make sure to say to Tawanda and the West family, thank you, and we love you so much, and thank you for putting your heart and your soul out here on the line every day for us. And I wanted to say that, sort of tying that back to what we heard from Boom, the role of love often gets romanticized in movements. You know, the voices of Martin Luther King get elevated while maybe others don't because they're a little less eloquent about how love plays into what they do. But I think it's important to remember that when we hear Boom talk, when we hear Tawanda talk and they're expressing anger at the way things are, that's love. That's them having enough love for their community, enough love for their people, enough love for their brother, enough love for their sisters to get angry. Because that's the proper human emotion when your loved ones are getting brutalized and murdered on a daily basis. And I think one of the things that white people need to remember is that we're not out here for all the cookie cutter cases that fit neatly into your idea of the perfect victim. All right, Curtis Deal was murdered by BPD a few months ago in Southwest BPD at Frederick and Pulaski. And you don't hear nothing about him from anyone. And his mother is traumatized, not just by her son being murdered, but by the deafening silence. Because the police released one edited video of him holding a gun. And now her son deserved to die. That's the narrative in this city. Curtis Deal is a name we need to start saying a lot more. Curtis Deal is an 18-year-old kid who was arrested 3 times between January and February of this year. 3 times by the same officers, by the same unit. He got released, he got sent up for bail. The officers had to come and say, what's your evidence for holding him? The judge heard the evidence and said, oh wait, that's ridiculous. All you did was you arrested this kid and you found drugs in a house down the street. And so you're trying to charge him with possession? No, it's ridiculous, let him go. Curtis's family says that in the courtroom, as he got, after the judge ruled that he had to be released, the officers went like this. Hours later, that same day, he was in a car, driving down the street with his friends. They drive past an unmarked vehicle with the same officers that had been arresting him 3 times in the previous month. The same officers that arrested his mother and his father within the last decade. Curtis rolls past them, sees them in the car, start following him, jumps out, ducks down an alley where one of the officers chased him down and another officer waited at the other end. He comes out, he's got a gun, they fire, he's dead, it's his fault. It's this kid's fault for being terrified of people who locked him up 3 times in a month. It's his fault for being terrified living in Southwest Baltimore where you got one crew of officers indicted, right? One crew, and it was 7 of them motherfuckers who were, every corrupt scheme in the book, they were doing it. It makes perfect sense for Curtis Deal to be scared and to run for his life and to carry a gun to protect himself. There's also footage out there of a few hours before they actually chased him out of the car, of a few of the officers from a different unit going, Curtis, watch out for them guns. It's on video. And ain't nobody talking about Curtis Deal in this city. His name needs to be elevated with Anthony Anderson. His name needs to be elevated with Tyrone West, with Keith Davis Jr., with all these names. And that's what I love about Tawanda is when she comes out here, she says, justice for Tyrone West. It puts him right out front and center where he belongs, but she doesn't stop there. She says, justice for Tyrone West, justice for all victims of police brutality. And there's so many names and so many stories and so many people that we wouldn't know about without Tawanda and West Wednesday, including when we go up to Morgan. How many people do when we go up there and we say, here's the picture of David Lewis, he's the killer cop that sat on Tawanda's brother's back until he died. How many kids walk through and go, oh, I know him, yeah, he threw my friend up against the wall the other day. Oh yeah, he pushed us off we were playing up on the stage and he threw one of us off the stage.
This is David Lewis, still employed by Morgan State as far as we know. They try to dodge it and they'll say, oh, well, maybe he's got another job too. Or we hear sometimes he's working at Annapolis. IHOP, we've heard him at the movie theater. The whole point of saying all that is to say thank you, Tawanda, for coming here and allowing people to raise up other voices and using your love to come out here and fight for them and your own family. And I appreciate you very, very much.
Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Mic check!
I got one more thing. On Saturday, we got dinner and a movie on Friday. On Saturday, we got a Free Mind, Free People rally up on Eastern Avenue. It's an immigration march. Starts at 6 o'clock on Eastern Avenue at the library. All right, so if y'all can come and support it. Free Mind, Free People is a national organization of youth-led advocacy, and I'm doing a workshop Saturday morning for activism for the youth. And 6 p.m. we're doing a rally. There's a Facebook page post that you can see it. I'll post it up. If y'all see it, share it. All right, if you can be there, be there. We're going to have water so you don't be dehydrated. We're going to have Donald Trump, so y'all be excited and motivated. But it's an immigration rally. It's about standing up for our immigration brothers. All right?
Mic check.
Mic check! I can't hear y'all. Mic check! Mic check!
Just one more thing too, like so when Boom was up, he was saying that, you know, something like with white people, that white people need to take on some of the kids in the neighborhoods and stuff, and like not act like you expect that you're gonna treat them like shit, and then they're gonna be like these little dancing around little sweet little things when you meet them, you know. And I just want to say, you know, for whatever you can do that thing, okay? Because some of y'all can't take on no booms. Seriously. Some of y'all can't take booms on. Booms are way too motherfucking much for most people. You just, seriously, so don't like for real, y'all don't go away from here thinking, damn, I can't take on a boom, so I'm a piece of shit. You know, for real, some people can't take more than what you're doing. Step up and push yourself a little bit further than what you're pushing yourself right now so we can move this thing forward. You may not be able to go all the way out there to the edge like that, but you can get up closer to the edge than you are right now. That's the real thing. Get out there and do more. We're not going to win unless we do more. And when we calling white people out to do stuff too, and white folks, y'all do need to do shit because y'all set this shit up. And I don't mean like this generation set up racism, because racism was already set up, the system was already set up, but y'all benefiting like a mother because this system is set up. So I'm asking y'all to get up and do the things that your grandparents didn't do the things that your mama didn't do, your daddy didn't do.
I don't hear white people say they wish they weren't white.
And here's the other piece. I think a whole lot of Asians need to do a lot more, a whole lot of black folks need to do a lot more, a whole lot of all of us need to do more to make this system better than what it is right now. It's not just one group, it's everybody. We got to put our asses in the game right now because we are losing much of what's important to us that we're not doing that. So we got to put more up than we're putting up right now, or we're just going to keep getting these little tiny wins and we won't win the battle. We won't win the war. We won't win the war. I'm not even sure how we can win this war in America without dismantling the entire system in the first place. Like our Constitution, it's written in black people's blood. How are you going to erase that? You can't erase that. You can't even get it out of it. You'd have to rewrite the Constitution or rewrite some other document and call it some other shit in order for it to be something that works in here, because you can't win with what we've done up to this point. You can't go and take this murdering system and then create something that comes out of that murdering system that's going to be different than that. It's always going to be adjusting to get back to where it's been, like the Confederacy. Like right now we're seeing more of the Confederacy than we've seen in a very long time. It's always trying to come back. I can say the Confederacy, but also we can say the other side, the Union troops. The Union didn't treat black people good either. The Union treated us like shit. So both sides of the system don't treat black people good. Both sides of the system didn't treat women good. Both sides of the system didn't treat the LGBTQ communities good, trans communities good. None of this stuff treats anybody well. And it's not until those of us who are out here right now who believe in this, until we totally change the system into something completely different, will America actually be a land of the liberated, the land of the free, because it is not that right now. So once again, this weekend, Circles of Voices will be having a discussion about race, Impact Hub, from 6 to 9 o'clock that night. Bobby, what's his name? Uncle Bobby will be there. So Uncle of Oscar Grant, who was portrayed in Fruitvale Station, will be in attendance that night. Come out. It's going to be a good conversation, y'all. Hope to see y'all there.
Mic check! Mic check! Mic check!
Mic check! Y'all got to put some enthusiasm in this, man.
All right, let's do another mic check for sure, y'all.
Mic check!
Mic check!
All right. Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody that came up and shared. I want to especially thank my brother Boom, because when he give it to you, I may come off a little bit too rough. You're like, oh my God, what am I listening to? But he comes off with the truth. He comes off from his heart.
Seriously.
He comes off from his heart. And that's how we all need to do. Like, I'm not saying, oh, come everybody out to be, because we only get one boom. Ain't nobody going to duplicate me and duplicate. So I'm sorry. We only get one boom. I think T said that. So anyway, but anything like what my brother JC said, whatever y'all can do is helpful to me. Like, I don't judge nobody and say, well, do this, do that. Whatever you feel as though you want to do it from your heart. Don't do it because he said it, or because, do it from your heart. That's the best way of giving, whether it's kind, it's just your time, just being out here. We didn't have y'all here to beat up on y'all or anything. Because most of my white folks are here more than my black folks. They need to get off the couch and come join us and hold up signs. Because we're the ones getting killed. That's just the reality of it. So it's not about beating up on nobody, it's about humanity right now. And I just thank y'all, as always, for your time. Because like I said, y'all could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but the fact y'all standing right here and listening to us and pouring and sharing, that means a lot to me. And I couldn't write a check big enough to thank y'all for it. So I just want to thank y'all and let y'all know this is our struggle. Like, it don't just start, like, Tyrone belongs to all of us, and we belong to each other. Because an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. And that's what we need to hold dear to our heart. And at the end of the day, and I'm going to leave y'all on this note for y'all to think about. If a stray dog gets out in our community right now, and he bites Shorty,
He did.
and he gets the taste of Shorty blood, and then he bite my sister right here, and he bite both of my brothers, he got the taste of blood. Blood don't have no color. So once they get that taste of blood, it could be you, all of us. And for one of my brothers, and I'm not going to put him on blast, but one of my brothers actually got robbed leaving here last West Friday, and I had to read about it on Facebook. Like, and it disgusted me because it was real. And it was so real. I'm not going to put the person on blast. I'll tell y'all later whatever. But the fact of what he said to me was so profound. It was profound for him to say. It didn't happen in this vicinity, but it still just happened when he was dropping somebody off. It wasn't right here, but what my whole point is, he was to the point that he didn't want to even call law enforcement officers because he's like, hell, I just left this damn rally talking about somebody that was killed by the police. You know what I'm saying? So that really touched my heart. Like, I was crying reading because I'm like, oh my God, like, I couldn't wait. Like, it was a long post, so I'm reading, like, rushing to the end, like, is he okay? Like, is his wife okay? You know, all that good stuff. But I just wanted to let y'all know. So when y'all come on here, this means a lot. Because y'all putting yourself in places that y'all would normally not be at. You know what I mean? Just like leaving here or doing a kind gesture or dropping somebody off. My brother lost his life for going to go pick a female up. Not to go break the law, not to go hurt nobody, but to help someone. He lost his life. Keep that in mind. He lost his life by saying, sis, can I borrow your car to go pick this female up? She's stranded. His life was snatched immediately. So it can happen at any time. It's just the point of we want to make sure it don't happen. We want to keep doing things to change things. And to change lives in all of us. So I shouldn't have to read on Facebook that my brother, and I'm glad he got, like, and it wasn't like he got robbed like full of money, but personal things that you take from somebody, you can't get back. It's sentimental value to things. My brother's life, you can't put a price on that. That's something you can never give me back. Something you can never give my family back. So I'm just asking y'all to please take life serious. Stop beating up on each other. Squash beef. Because it's real. That's why people getting killed now. Because they don't know how to say, I'm sorry or I forgive you. They let their ignorance take over, their emotions take over. When at the heat of the moment, when they're mad at somebody. And then they look at it, it's too late. That person dead. They're in prison for the rest of their life. Well, they done took somebody's family member away. It could be simply, it's so simple. It's called love. And that's why I'm out here. I'm not on here because I hate police. I don't hate officers. I can't stand killer cats, but I don't hate officers. And I never once said that. I hate the way they treat us, but I don't hate anyone. And let's be clear, I'm not a hateful person. Because if I was, I would have been lost and people would have been dead by now. I'm just being real. And that's not reality, because that type of ignorance is why my brothers did, because somebody didn't have restraint enough to say, stop kicking this man, stop beating this man. This is a human. Let's stop. They acted as though it was a sport. So just love. I want to end on this note. Love somebody. Don't think you can wait till tomorrow to tell your uncle or your family member that you haven't spoken to in a while you love them. Don't think, oh, the mama stopped past grandma's house. Stop past her house tonight. Call her tonight.
Yeah, Tawanda.
Real talk.
Fuck yeah.
Like Queen expected to be with her son, our queen of the city. Her son was fighting for his life in the hospital. I don't know how he's doing or anything, but she wound up dying instantly. We had to go, they had to go to something else. Went to the funeral. I couldn't take her, that's why I didn't go. But I'm telling you, life is not promised at all. And your life is your story, history, his story. What will your life say? How did you treat people? The world is watching. How do you treat people? And integrity to me shows when nobody's looking. I can stay and act like I want to act on this mic while all of y'all looking. My integrity shows the moment I drop this mic and I go in my house and it's quiet and ain't no cameras right there. How I treat my children, how I engage in them, how I listen to their ideas. Value them as human beings. Tomorrow is not promised. The day is not promised. Love people now. Love, 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 love. Love you all.